Hi, this is Emily the Audi Nerd. Today we're going to be taking a look at a 2023 Audi Q7. The one I have here with me today is what I like to call the perfect family car. Most of the time I try to find the vehicles that are the most equipped or so you can see the absolute cream of the crop when it comes to that specific vehicle. But today I want to highlight the Premium Plus, which has all of the features that used to come most standard on much higher trim levels, and they all come now on the Premium Plus. The Audi Q7 has two different engine options. It comes standard with the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and it also has the option for the 3-liter turbocharged engine, which is a 6-cylinder. The 2-liter engine is called the 45, and the 3-liter engine is called the 55. So you'll see those on the window stickers or on the online advertisement. That is what those two differentiations mean. This one in particular we have today has the 3-liter engine. The 3-liter engine, as I mentioned, is a 3-liter V6 turbocharged engine with 335 horsepower and 369 foot-pounds of torque. It goes from 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds. It has a top speed of 130 miles an hour, and the highway MPG is 22 miles per gallon, and the city MPG is 18 miles per gallon. We've done a couple of videos recently on vehicles that can now take regular gasoline. The Q7 is still needing to take the premium gasoline. The Audi Q7 has some really awesome stylizing, especially for a larger family car. A lot of family cars look really boxy and really large and don't have a lot of character and stylizing to them. The Q7 couldn't be more different. It has such clean lines, looks quite elegant, and it has the alloy optic trim. I wanted to show and highlight how truly elegant every single color combination is, including the 3 new colors that they added this year, which I'll put up at the top. The Q7 is also jam-packed with safety features, proximity sensors, cameras, all that other stuff, which a lot of customers come in looking for, and you can find it on some of the most basic trim levels. On the convenience package, that's where you get all of your full 360 surround view cameras. There are 5 different cameras on this car, and using that full 360 surround camera, you can utilize all of those cameras put together to build your top view camera system, which we'll show here in just a bit. The car, as I mentioned, has tons of proximity sensors. So you see there are 6 on the front. One right in front of this wheel here, which is a little bit indented, and you can see it right there. Moving over, we have one here in this side, one perfectly on the front over on the passenger side, one in front of the driver's side, and another over on this side, and one in front of this wheel right over here as well. All of these proximity sensors are put together to use that full 360 camera where it can audibly let you know if you're getting too close to the thing by beeping and having different tones. That allows you to get this huge family SUV into every single tight parking space that you may need to go. But the features doesn't stop there. What used to be only available on the Prestige package plus driver's assistance is now available on some of the most basic trims, like I mentioned, on the Premium with the convenience package or standard on the Premium Plus. This vehicle does have adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist and lane guidance, so that'll help you stay within the lane. It will make corrections upon necessary, and it will vibrate. You can see here, these are your different sensors that are used for your adaptive cruise control. There are the 2 big boxes on the side, and then also pairs with the camera, which we discussed earlier, which is the forward-facing camera, which will be up here in the front windshield. For the first time ever on the 3-liter Q7, it is now standard with 19-inch wheels. These wheels in particular are from the Premium Plus package, so it has a slightly different design, but I do like how these silver wheels are standard on the Premium Plus package, so you can see that matches all of the alloy optic trim. If you do go with the black optics package, it does have a different wheel. Now moving on to talk about the stylizing that I was mentioning earlier about this Q7. You can see how it has this huge bolster all along here, and I love how it says Quattro down on the lower end. This is such a unique stylizing piece that really elevates it compared to its competitors. And as you can see from the side profile, it's not just this big boxy thing. It's not just this big thing that's over the top of the row, it's got all this body roll. It actually has a real shape, and it looks really nice. So you can see the higher back here for this 3rd row room for the person who's sitting in the back end, but it still is quite an attractive looking vehicle. Moving along to the backside, of course, Audi has thought through this stylizing aspect as well. You can see it has this silver bar all the way along the backside, giving it this really long, linear look. I love how that ties in with your silver rings and badges and your silver Q7 badges down here. Moving down a little bit, we'll talk about this back bumper. The Q7 also went to along how most of the vehicles have the rear tailpipes that are actually underneath the car. The Q7 does as well. There are 6 proximity sensors along the back end as well. One over on the side just behind the wheel where the front one was just in front of it. Right here on this side, this corner, over in the center here again, over on the side, and then right behind this back wheel as well. Now the Q7, this one in particular does have the towing package. The towing package is not a standard feature on any Q7, however, it is an option from the factory. But something to please note is if you do find a Q7 or you buy a Q7 that does not have the towing package, know that all of the wiring, the factory wiring, is a standard feature. So you just need to have the actual receptacle installed. The towing package sometimes makes it very tricky for the kick to release feature to open. However, just make sure you follow through and don't kick directly underneath it. It's usually one side to the right or to the left. It just depends. I encourage you to play with yours specifically, so let's test this one out. The Audi Q7 has the largest cargo capacity in all of Audi's SUVs. If you come in a little bit closer, you can see this is the second row stowed. So you can see that middle seat is independently movable. So that one is completely stowed there. If you were to stow all of the second row seats, your cargo capacity would be 69.6 cubic feet. If you were to stow just the third row seats as they are now, your cargo capacity would be 35.7 cubic feet. And it has the largest in class behind the third row storage area at 14.2 cubic feet. Now, let me show you how to operate the third row. As you can see here, all of the buttons are located right here. There's also a hook here for if you were to hook grocery bags or anything like that. So when you're ready to bring them up, they're each run independently on their own button, and they are power all the way up to the top. You heard them click in like that, and the headrests just pull up just like that. The nice part about this is as that second row middle seat is stowed, it is easier for a third row passenger to get back to this third row. When you're ready to stow the third row, simply pull on these levers, and the loops right there, and this headrest go down, and then push in, and then they will lock all the way back down into place. The second row is also adjustable for how far back it goes. So let's take a look now at how it would fit back there compared to a 6-foot person driving in the driver's seat. All right, now let's check out how I fit in the second and third row. As a recap, I am 5'5" 3/4", and the front seat has been adjusted for my husband, who's a little bit over 6 feet tall. So moving into the back seat, you can see I have tons of legroom back here. And the other nice part about the Q7 seats is they do slightly recline, so you can move them up or you can move them all the way back for a slightly reclined, more relaxed position back here. The other cool thing with the Q7 seats is after you've adjusted them to wherever you want them to be, or if you have some people in the back, you can move this forward and you have even more legroom in the back area. As you can see here, I still have about the same room as I would in an A3, and there's still a 6-foot person in front of me, and you can fit more people back there. So now let's take a look at how I fit in the back of the third row. The Q7 has some really easy accessibility ways to get back to the third row. There are 2 ways in particular. One, you can move this seat down into its position, and I'll show you that in just 1 second. The other really cool thing is, as I mentioned earlier, this middle seat is completely independent. I have tons of customers who have 2 child seats on either side, and they worry about being able to get their other child back into the back row. This second one in the middle here, keeping that totally flat, allows them to just climb right over and easily access the back. But now I'm going to show you how to easily tuck the seats so that I can get back there. Simply push this lever up here. This will spring all the way down, push down till it locks into place. Then push up on this guy, pull all the way up, and it's hydraulically assisted, so it's extremely easy to do. And then I just climb right back. And once I'm back here, I simply pull the seat down, or the person who was sitting in front of there could pull the seat down as well, and then push this guy up, pull it all the way back. And this is even in a more reclined position, and I still have tons of room back here. Easily able to have another person next to me, anyone else along this size. For reference, I have ridden all the way from Minneapolis to Chicago in the back of a Q7 before. It wasn't cramped at all. I wasn't needing to get up and stretch at the end of it. It's actually quite comfortable. And I still have tons of room back here now that I'm fully sitting back here. This seat is moved halfway forward and this one is all the way back. So you can see there's still tons of flexibility and maneuverability back here to see if you want to sit tall people or short people. The other cool thing about back here is they did not forget about us. We have speakers, we have vents, and we have cup holders. There's one more spot to easily access the buttons for the third row. This is right inside the back seat, right along this door edge here, and you can stow and raise them just from right here. Now in the interior of the Audi Q7, there are tons of things I really want to point out. I mentioned earlier this one is a Premium Plus, so it does have a lot of standard features and a couple of additional optional features part of that package. Something that's really cool on the Q7 is this virtual cockpit comes 100% standard. It also comes standard with navigation. So I'm using the toggle buttons as I usually do on the steering wheel. All of them work the same for all of the different Audis. So I can toggle right over to the navigation. You'll see that up there in the center screen. And then I simply press the view button, which you'll see right here. and that will make the dials smaller so you can see that full view of where that looks. Bringing the dials back up larger, you can toggle to any of the other information in here, so you can toggle through date and time, short-term memory, long-term memory, driver's assistance, traffic light information. Traffic light information is a really cool feature. It will actually time the traffic lights if those traffic lights are synced up to the network in that city. If Audi can access that network, it will tell you right there on the screen how many seconds and what speed you need to be moving at to achieve all of the green lights along the corridor that you are traveling. The Audi German engineers try to think of absolutely everything, and because the Q7 is a higher up vehicle, you may run into more visibility issues where the sun is coming in at different angles, and maybe sometimes it's over here, but it's also in front of you, but it's over here, but what are you gonna do? They've thought of a way to fix that. So there are actually two different sun visors. So this first one has your mirror, and it also has the light up top. If you want to move that over to the side, you can move that over and extend it all the way along as far as you need it to be. But okay, now there's still something in front. How do I block that? No problem. That one comes down too. This lower climate control panel is the same among all C and D segment vehicles. That means Q7, Q8, A6, A7, and A8, and e-tron. So all of these will have this exact same climate control panel down here. You can touch it like this, and remember, I always tell my customers when they are looking at these screens and they're trying to work it, they can tap it all they want and nothing really happens. Imagine there's a button behind the screen when you do it, so use some follow through when you are touching any of these buttons. The reason behind that is because then if you're driving and you're not sure what you want to do and you're going over bumps, oh gosh, it's clicking all these buttons, it's not really. You actually have to have significant follow through for any of those actions to be engaged on this screen. Moving down a little bit, you'll see there's the auto button, so if we wanted to, we could simply click auto on both sides and they would all be on auto sync, or you can manually adjust the fan speed. You can also manually adjust where the air is, or you can put that part back on auto. It makes it pretty easy and easily accessible right along there, all easily touch. There is also the sync button here that will sync the driver temperature to the passenger temperature, and the driver will be the one that actually decides them all. If you wanted to unsync them, you can simply press this button, or you can just individually adjust over on the passenger side. The Q7 does come standard with heated seats. You'll see that button right here. It comes with a heated steering wheel on the convenience package on the premium. How to access that, there's one of two ways. You can either press this 3 toggle and move up, and you can see your heated steering wheel is available right here simply by one press. You can also see there's a couple other buttons here where you can set the rear temperature if you wanted, or you can sync them. Or if this is not where you want to do it, you can go back to the steering wheel, come back over this way, you'll see this star button. The first time you press it, it'll allow you to set any of the different things you want it to be. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see where it says turn on heated steering wheel or turn it off. The other cool thing that can be used for this button is if you have your garage door opener programmed, you can also use that to be your garage door opener. I want to talk about the MMI screen next. This is something that I talk about in almost every vehicle, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth on this specific Q7. Notice this is the standard layout. If you buy a new car, this is likely how it's going to be completely laid out. You have your home button here, a radio button here, radio, media, media, phone, phone, navigation, navigation. And that's how it's easily laid out. However, if you are someone who doesn't use media or phone because you only use Apple CarPlay the entire time, that's great. You simply press and hold on that tile, move it up to wherever you want it to be. So let's say you use that one more. Okay, great. And you don't use phone, but you use the vehicle. Okay, move that one there. And you really use settings more because you have different tire pressures that you're going to be setting or whatever you're going to be doing with it. You can move right there. Then simply press done. And this is your new layout. But wait, there is more. So let's say you didn't like how this one was laid out, you can leave that guy there. But you didn't like how these were over here. That wasn't what you wanted it to be. So okay, you want your phone apps, move that guy over here underneath radio, so that takes the place of media. And you can move vehicle over here, because that would take the place of phone, because that's how you have it laid out there. So you can easily access them with an even hot button, so like you're in anything that you wanted to do, or you can easily go to navigation. Oh, back to radio. Oh, back to car. Oh, back to phone apps. Really, really easy to use that. Another thing I wanted to highlight is something that's unique to all the different Audis. I hate it when I have 100 different Bluetooth things in my phone and I can't ever remember what they are. You can actually go in and adjust it and make it a custom name. So you can leave it as Audi space, this one's a Q7. So you can say individually write that in there, and you can press OK. So now the Bluetooth name is going to be Audi Q7. So whenever you see it in your phone, we can see, oh, what one do I want to connect to? Audi MMI blah, 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 number. No, you can change it to Audi Q7. Or if your name is Emily, like me, you can do Audi Emily Q7. I mentioned earlier that this car has the full 360 surround view camera. That was only an option on the Prestige driver assistance package in the past. It is now a standard option on the convenience package premium or standard on premium plus and all the way above. You can see your full 360 surround view right there, but this one has an even bigger trick up its sleeve. You have all of these different angles. So if you want to see the full front, if you want to see the back, if you want to see the side, wanted to see the front side, so on either front wheel, you want to see the back wheels, or if you wanted to remove your 360 right all the way along here, or my favorite one is the 3D. So you can see this 3D model image of how the Q7 looks. The other really cool part about it is you can see as the wheels turn, you can see it, and you can see if it moves, it actually moves the tires. I mentioned earlier that this vehicle has the adaptive cruise control. This is your adaptive cruise control stock right here. You'll simply pull it forward to turn it on, press the set button to engage it, and then to adjust the different distances, you're going to use this toggle right down here. And if we move up to the screen, if you move up just a little bit over here, you can see right there, there's your max distance all the way out. And then you can move it in. Each one of these is 1 car length. The Audi Q7 also has the frameless auto-dimming mirror. So we'll move over here, you'll see this guy right here. You press it once to turn the auto-dimming on or off, and then you can press and hold to turn the compass on and off. I like how it completely disappears. You wouldn't even know it was there unless you had it turned on. So press and hold again to turn it all the way back on. This right here is the only thing that doesn't have any power memory adjustment with it for comparing to different drivers. So this is something you will have to manually adjust depending on the person that's in here. Moving up just a little bit, we have our touch lights right here. And as I mentioned in some previous vehicles, when you press and hold, you can actually dim that touch light down to wherever you want it to be. Right here, these are interior ambient lighting. This one has a full panoramic sunroof. So if you wanted to open the sunroof, right now the shade is closed. So we'll bring that all the way back and open the shade first. And once the shade's open past where you would like it to be, you can simply press up on this to vent or pull all the way back to open. And when you're ready to close it, simply either wait for it to be all the way done or push all the way forward at any point in time. So if you're doing a rear parking maneuver or if you're backing into a garage, there is a way to dip one of the power mirrors. The easiest way to do that is to put your vehicle in reverse and then go through and turn it to that mirror that you want it to be, and you can set it over there and you can see that it'll dip down to where you want it to be. The cool part about that is after you set it the first time, so let's say that's perfect for me, and I put it back to center, back to 0, and then I put it back to drive, and I put it back to park, it resets it so it'll save in that new memory. So now, if I go to reverse, I don't have anything selected on the mirrors. I have it back in the neutral position. But the second I turn it over to that particular mirror, it'll come all the way back down to where I had set it. The Audi Q7 comes standard with leather, as you'll see right here. This is the black leather interior. I do like how there is very, very minimal of a contrast in the stitching. It keeps that really nice uniform look. But coming up to the dash, they did something really unique for the first time, and they did this full contrasting stitching all the way along the side. The other thing that I really like about the interior of the Q7, there's all these silver alu optic trims that go all the way along, really tying in the exterior with the silver alu optics on the interior. This one is a Premium Plus, as I mentioned earlier, so there's a couple other things I did want to highlight. You'll see right down there on that speaker grill, it is the Bang & Olufsen audio system. That is the one that comes on the Premium Plus package. It used to be Bose, but now it is Bang & Olufsen. There is still the option for the higher 3D Bang & Olufsen sound system. I believe that one is just over $5,000. The other cool thing about the Q7 is it also comes standard with memory seating over on the driver's side. So as you can see right here, there's this little panel. You would press set and press 1 wherever you would like to have it be, and you heard that first, that beep, that was to let you know that that has set this seat. So now if I readjusted it or anything else and it was okay over here, okay. But then if I wanted it to be back to the set position that I had, I just set it right back and it's perfectly back. The other cool thing is it does adjust the steering wheel. So if I wanted to have the steering wheel adjusted here and save that new setting, well, I can press set, save that, and when I wanted it to come back, oh look, even the steering wheel moved back in. Perfect adjustment every time. Thanks for watching my video on this 2023 Audi Q7. I will be making further videos when I have different Q7s with more options on them. If you have any other questions that I haven't answered in this video, please leave them in the comments or come check one out at Audi Omaha. Thanks for watching.